Today we're going to explore how to film a punch. We've broke it down into 5 different steps so you can see the process that I go through when setting it in front of a camera. Step 1 is worrying about the safety of the performers. You want to make sure when you set the action that you have enough room to execute the moves and the reaction to the moves. So be aware of set, be aware of the walls, be aware of the camera equipment that is surrounding you. Just to make sure we got a light stand on this side. That's going to be our camera position. It's stationary for this run, so you don't have to worry about moving it. Walking through the space, we'll clear these mats out of the way. The second area is making sure the actors are ready to do the techniques. That's ensuring they're warmed up and physically ready to go through, making sure that they have rehearsed thoroughly the sequence, and making sure that they are absolutely clear that they are not to improvise any moments of the fight. The final element of safety that you want to look at is the distance between the two performers. The basic principle is to go, let's make sure the fist doesn't come near the face. It's pretty obvious. So I mentioned that to my actors and go, move to where you think you're going to be safe. And go, that is safe, but not safe enough for me. At this point in time, I'll ask the actors to step back, and then I demonstrate this is the area that I need. It needs to be a clear foot between what could be impact and the target that we're after. Once you set this safety distance, I need to make sure that they maintain the safety distance throughout the move. Too often actors get full of adrenaline and full of energy, and what their punch begins to do is move into the safety area. So I really make it a point to sit down and talk to this actor, to talk to Dave and go, as you execute it, set those feet, do not move them. Do not bend forward from the waist. We have a good safety distance. Let's maintain it throughout. What we'll need to do is, number 1, hide the safety distance, and number 2, make sure we're telling the clear story. So Dean's going to be the victim in this instance, so he's going to face camera. Dave's going to move around slightly offline so the camera can pick up Dean over the shoulder. For this particular punch, which is a jab, which is moving straight forward into the front of the face, what we want to do is make sure the fist is presented in frame before the punch is executed. So as Dave is going to prepare that punch with his right hand, we can see it move up and it's in shot. This way you can watch the punch happen on the screen. The danger of not doing the setup is that the punch comes from low or in front of the body. You either don't get the move, or it comes as such a surprise you're not really sure what happened. So it's really crucial to get the hand up into the screen, and then we can follow that into the punch. What we need to make sure is that we hide that safety we set up earlier. We do that by imagining that there is a thread coming from the lens of that camera straight through to the intended target. If we're looking at a different type of punch, I talk about breaking the thread. In this type of punch, we need to travel along that thread. So in the preparation that Dave is giving, that we talked about in step 3, Dave, give me that prep, that needs to move into that thread. Now he's going to travel along that journey towards the line of the face, draw his fist back afterwards. The second half of the technique is about the reaction. It's really important that the reaction we get from Dean mirrors the punch that Dave is throwing. What we want to do with the reaction is make sure we get a moment of retraction so the head moves back into the body and then begins to roll up into the back. Not only does that represent closer to the reality of what would happen, it's an extra safety measure. It avoids giving any degree of whiplash and overextension towards the back of our neck, and stops the momentum of his head by putting the shoulders in place. The contact is being made and then pushing the head back. We can either take the time to focus on the attacker who's thrown the punch or the victim who's been hit. So those are the 5 steps I think about when filming a punch. Step 1 is safety. Step 2 is about the camera angles. Step 3 is about preparation of the move. Step 4 is about traveling down the thread and making sure you're safe with your reaction to the punch. And step 5 is what happens after the punch. Even though safety sounds like it was restricted to step 1, it is the overriding and main concern that guides me and my actors through the entire process.